Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of the Off Topic No Context podcast. My name is Justin Park, and I'll be your host. Today, we're talking about civic engagement, one of the most powerful tools citizens have in democracy. Have you ever wondered how ordinary people can influence laws, policies, or entire systems of government? Here in the US, change doesn't just come from politicians. It often starts with citizens who speak up, organize, and take action. Today, I'll explain what civic engagement is, why it matters, and how it works. Then, I'll walk through a historical example where civic engagement directly shaped US legislation. You might be wondering, what is civic engagement? Civic engagement refers to ways individuals participate in their communities and governments to improve society or influence public policy. In simple terms, it's about being an active citizen instead of a passive observer. Because the US is a democracy where power comes from the people, citizens play a key role in shaping government decisions. Political systems depend on participation to function properly. But why is civic engagement important? Civic engagement is essential for several reasons, such as it strengthens democracy because when people participate, government decisions better reflect the public need. It also promotes accountability as leaders are more likely to act responsibly when citizens are watching and involved with the process. It also encourages problem solving as governments exist to solve issues individuals cannot solve alone, such as public goods and collective challenges. It also empowers individuals as people realize their voices matter and can create change for the community. Without civic engagement, democracy can become weaker and citizens lose influence over decisions that affect their lives. There are many ways to get involved, including but not limited to voting in local, state, and national elections, volunteering in the community, advocacy and activism such as protesting campaigns, contacting elected officials, participating in public forums and town halls, and staying informed about political issues. All these forms help citizens influence the political process, which determines what the government does and what policies are created. So now that we've gone over what civic engagement is and why it matters, let's shift our attention towards what it takes where everyday people help to create major change here in the US. One of these examples of civic engagement shaping legislation is the civil rights movement of the 1950s and 60s. For decades, African Americans faced racial segregation and discrimination, especially in the South. Laws known as Jim Crow laws enforced unequal treatment in schools, transportations, and public spaces. In this time, many different groups and individuals played important roles in pushing for change. African American citizens and community leaders were at the center of the movement, along with major organizations such as the NAACP and Southern Christian Leadership Conference, also known as the SCLC. Influential activists such as MLK helped lead efforts and bring national attention to inequality, while the federal government and lawmakers were responsible for eventually creating new laws. To fight against this injustice, citizens used different types of nonviolent methods to make their voices heard. This included protests and marches, such as the March on Washington, and boycotts like the Montgomery bus boycott. People also organized sit-ins and demonstrations to directly challenge segregation, while others used the court system and public speeches to raise awareness. All these actions worked together to bring national attention to inequality and pressure the government to act. Because of this effort, major change in laws followed. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 was passed, banning discrimination in public places and employment. Shortly after, the voting right of 1965 was established to protect citizens' rights to vote. These laws marked a major turning point in U.S. history. The impact of the civil rights movement can still be seen today. It showed that civic engagement can lead to lasting legal and social changes, expanded rights and equality, and inspire future movement. Overall, it proved that when citizens organize and take action, they have the power to reshape society. To close things down, civic engagement plays an important role in shaping our society and the laws that govern it. As we saw with the civil rights movement, citizens have the power to create change when they come together and take action. Whether that's voting, speaking out, or getting involved within the community, every effort contributes to the democratic process. Civic engagement reminds us that our voice matters and that change is always possible. Thank you for listening to this first episode of the Off Topic No Context podcast. I am Justin Park, your host, and I hope this episode helped you better understand the power of active citizenship. I'll see you next time.